Many months down, just 12 days to go in the race for the White House. So how do the polls look in this home stretch? Our latest national poll shows Obama slightly widening his lead. He is now 8 percentage points ahead of John McCain, 50 to 42%. That is up from 7 points yesterday. Joining us to crunch the numbers is political editor Mark Preston. Mark, good to see you out there, we know, across the river from Ohio. And these national polls, very interesting, but elections, we know they're won in states. So what about how things are looking in the must-win state of Ohio and other state polls?
Well, you're absolutely right, Nam. While the national polls gives us a snapshot of what the mood is of America, but really it is won and lost. At least the White House, the race for the presidency, is won and lost in the battleground states. Now, right over my shoulder, of course, is the state of Ohio. It's the city of Cincinnati. Just last night, John McCain and Sarah Palin were here for a rally. Sarah Palin was here today as well before she heads off to Pennsylvania. John McCain down to Florida. But just looking at Ohio right now, 20 electoral votes on the table. And right now, if we were to look at the CNN News statewide poll of polls in Ohio, there's a 7-point advantage for Barack Obama. Not very good news, Namwa, in Ohio. As we head south, as I said, John McCain is in Florida today. As we head south down to Florida, 27 electoral votes on the table right now. A bit of a closer race down there. Barack Obama has a 3-point lead in the new CNN poll of polls of Florida. As we head north again to Pennsylvania, where Sarah Palin is this afternoon campaigning. This is a state now that John Kerry won in 2004, but the McCain campaign is really working hard to try to pick up this state. Although right now, the new CNN statewide poll of polls of Pennsylvania now shows that Barack Obama has a 10-point lead. And as we head south down to Virginia, a state that George Bush had in 2004, carried in 2004, it shows that Barack Obama has an 8-point lead in Virginia. So now, with just about 12 days ago until Election Day, John McCain has a lot of work to do on the campaign trail, Namwa.
He certainly does. You were talking about Ohio there. We know that no Republican candidate has ever won the White House without winning Ohio. So that really a must-win, one presumes, for both candidates. And Ohio, where you are close to, we know is home to Joe the Plumber. Oh my goodness. His name has come up so often that John McCain has renamed his Road to Victory tour in Florida the Joe the Plumber Tour. Joe's not there. Is he there in spirit?
Yeah, certainly for the McCain campaign, he is there in spirit. They have really grasped onto this whole Joe the Plumber concept. I spoke to the McCain campaign today. They told me that Joe the Plumber was not going to be with him in Florida today. John McCain had a lot of stops. But what they said is that Joe the Plumber will come in many different forms of small business people that are coming out and telling the same story as Joe the Plumber. Now, there has been a big fight over who would do better under the economic plans. Would Joe the Plumber do better under the Obama economic plan or the McCain economic plan? So there seems to be a fight over Joe the Plumber. The McCain campaign would not tell me what the plans are for Joe the Plumber, but with 12 days to go, I wouldn't be surprised to see Joe the Plumber on the campaign trail with John McCain, Namwa.
No, wouldn't be surprised at all. I guess it depends whether you're looking at what Joe the Plumber earns right now, which is about $40,000, and what he might earn if he purchased his plumbing business and he earned more than $250,000.
Yeah, absolutely. Although, the story has gotten so interesting and crazy, you just never know what to believe in the Joe the Plumber story, that's for sure.
All right, we'll wait and see if he shows up on the campaign trail. Meanwhile, we know that Obama was on the campaign trail. We know that he's not anymore because he's left to go and visit his sick grandmother. But he was in Indiana a little earlier on this afternoon. Indiana hasn't voted Democratic in 44 years. We know that Obama trails McCain in state polls there. So what is his strategy in targeting that kind of state where he is behind? I guess it's like McCain has spending a lot of time in Pennsylvania where he trails.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we're seeing from the Obama campaign, because they have such a significant cash advantage over John McCain, just in the month of September now, Barack Obama raised $150 million. So what we're seeing from Barack Obama is going into these states such as Indiana, which have been reliably Republican. He is putting a lot of money onto television, and he's going into campaign. And what this does strategically, it puts John McCain on the defensive. So he has to focus on states such as Indiana, as opposed to really giving it all in trying to go after some Democratic states such as Pennsylvania. So the cash advantage that Barack Obama has over John McCain is huge. And really, John McCain is only able to spend about $85 million, which is public financing, which he accepted from September through November. Barack Obama has no limits because he did not opt into the public financing system. John McCain is getting some help, certainly from the Republican National Committee and certainly from some 527 groups. But Barack Obama is using his advantage to try to put John McCain on the defensive now.
Now, people used to say, of course, Mark, that it was surprising that the two candidates were so close, considering Obama's considerable advantage in terms of his cash position, as well as the respective positions of the Democratic and the Republican parties. But now things have moved apart a little bit. We've got the national polls showing Obama leading McCain by 8 points, up from 7 yesterday. So what can we deduce from this?
Well, I'll tell you, there's no question that the race has been very close, and you don't necessarily buy an election. You can't win an election. And let's not forget, the United States is pretty much split down the middle, 50-50. So while we see the national polls that Barack Obama has a little bit of a lead on John McCain, and Barack Obama is doing better than John McCain in these battleground states, expect these polls to tighten. There's no question about that. John McCain has really made an issue of Barack Obama's judgment and experience, and I think that will resonate a little bit with voters. So we'll have to see what happens on Election Day. The election's certainly not over at this point. Let's not write John McCain off. We saw John McCain was written off back in 2007 during the Republican primary. His campaign had imploded, and guess what? John McCain turned around and won the Republican nomination. So that's where we stand right now, Namois.
Yeah, he likes this role of being the underdog, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, and he talks about it a lot, absolutely.
All right, Mark. Well, thank you very much. We will be watching closely. We know that you certainly will be.
Thank you, Namois.